it with ease. I'm kind of a slave, but I come with the stage.
What's
It's
up,
hard not to
everybody?
do
It
that.
is. It's hard not to bang my head to that banger.
Stop.
It made my head, bro.
Saying.
Stop.
Best
But
theme
it's
song in Potter. That's all I'm saying. What's up, everybody? It is the most styling, the most profiling podcast in the
What's up, y'all?
wrestling sphere. This is EgoDrip. I am Hambone.
Oh, I'm Lord Lovelace.
And I'm the Medius Mo, Con from the 703.
Mm-hmm. I can attest. Like,
Just
how-
three meaty
Tell
men
me when I'm
talking
on.
wrestling.
Tell me when I'm on.
Tell me when I start telling lies.
Real sirloin steaky over here.
Are you mid rare? Are you well done? Are you with or without steak sauce?
Medium rare. Well done is childish.
Worcestershire sauce.
That's how I do it, but that's fine.
You really like well done?
I do.
Oh, okay. All right.
But I don't burn it though. You know, motherfuckers who like think that you have to burn it to make a well done steak. You just don't know how to cook.
I hate that bullshit. I don't buy into that.
That might be a hot take. I'm saying.
You
don't have to burn your steak.
All you gotta do is sear it on both sides.
What?
Pop that bitch in the oven for 10 minutes. Bam, well done and ain't burnt. Saying.
Okay. I stand corrected. My fault, OG.
Yeah.
No, you said what you said.
He said, "No, don't walk that back."
You
said, "Don't walk that back."
Blood is icky.
All right, boys, how are you? It's been 2 weeks.
Has been a long time. It felt like a long time today too, and I was like, oh man, we have a pod today. Like,
Yeah,
been-
I
it's been
kept
a long
remembering.
time.
It completely left my mind. And I kept remembering, like, oh shit, we got to do this show.
Yeah, I almost forgot.
Well, clearly this podcast is very important to all three of us.
And we have hey, listen, we were busy, bro. You especially
Sure.
were busy as shit. I don't
Most
like.
definitely.
Sure.
I think I was driving home from Florida back to Virginia the day before or the day of. I don't really remember. And then, you were all over the Chicago and doing things.
Yeah, man.
I was in bed. I was in bed.
Was it bad?
Possibly, I was in bed. But I was with y'all in spirit, both of you.
When I was in Chicago, Con, I had you right here with me the whole time.
Your bosom.
Right in my bosom. Yes.
Right in the bosom.
Right in my solid A cups, baby.
Yeah.
That's where you were. Because I'm also a meaty man, but it's mostly fat and bristle. So,
I give you an A+.
huh?
A+ bosom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A+. So
we got two pay-per-views that passed that I guess we should talk about, right?
Yeah, I say so.
Yes.
Let's get into
I
it.
say we start with Payback because Payback happened first, so
It did
let's get
happen
into
first.
that one.
Let's talk about it.
The Judgment Day went off.
That's a cool poster.
It is a cool poster. It was one of the first ones
I
they
like
dropped when they started promoting.
You said what?
This is one of the first posters they dropped when they started promoting.
It was most definitely their pay-per-view. I mean,
shoot, we should have known that when they first dropped it. I was like, oh, Judgment Day is gonna have a field day.
they should have didn't they have a pay-per-view called Judgment Day?
They did.
They might as well have
Sure
just called it that for real. I mean, it was all about them, which I don't have a problem with, but I mean, it was their night.
They should rename the team Payback now because now they just don't. They took over Judgment Day. Now they took over Payback.
I see what you did there.
Mm-hmm.
I see what you did there.
I be doing things sometimes.
I don't dislike it. I don't dislike that idea.
I'm impressed.
Thank you. Yeah, pat myself on the back.
Right.
Yeah.
Trying to fix this camera here. There we go.
You're good, man.
Soak it in, man.
All right, let's go.
So how we feel about this match? Because I think we all kind of agreed ahead of it that we kind of just weren't like into the story at all.
Yeah,
mean,
definitely.
I thought it was a great match. It was brutal.
Yeah,
I mean, did you see Trish's face? Goddamn.
I'm gonna be honest. Well, I'm gonna say that, but I enjoyed the match. Right, I could have done without the Zoe Stark shit. That's just my only critique. I would have been cool with just like a clean finish. I didn't need the shenanigans at the end.
You knew that was gonna happen though.
I knew it was gonna happen, but it would have been nice if it didn't.
I feel you. Yeah, it's one of those things where it's it like once someone has like a sidekick like that, especially like the one where like they've like Zoe Starks has been worshiping Trish this last like couple months, like she's gonna pop her head in, and it's like I'm with you. Like I would love like when people have people like that. I wish it would just be like a clean match, but like even with like the bloodline shit, like they're always gonna pop in. All 100%. Of them are always going to be part of that match. You know what I mean? Like no matter what the stakes are, stipulation, nothing, they're always going to pop up. So yeah, I agree with you. Like I would wish we could get cleaner matches, but when you have other people involved, it's going to come with it.
No, like I know it as well as you know it. Just knowing Trish Stratus, knowing her history, and going against Becky Lynch. To me, this is just to me. It could have been. This could have been like a Rock versus Hogan type situation. It could have been, and I mean it was nowhere near that. So seeing Zoe Stark in there just really kind of just fucking that in there that like that is not that, even though it should be, because Trish Stratus is a fucking legend, and Becky Lynch, she will go down as a legend. So
yeah,
I just think that was to me it's just they're better than that.
After I think I said it the last time we talked, I still think Lita was supposed to be a big part of the storyline. So the fact that she got injured really kind of threw a real wrench into this. Yeah. And I think it threw a real wrench into this whole scenario. So they just kind of were just, okay, scrap everything we got. What do we do for Becky versus Trish? So and the story's kind of felt like that, to be honest. Like it's all been kind of felt like it's been thrown together. It wasn't really planned out because I haven't really paid attention to it much. But when I do see it, it's like, okay. Like, so, but despite all that, this match was really good.
It was a good match.
I want to preface all my Payback stuff by saying that I was driving a vehicle while, like, during the whole thing. I watched a little bit of the first two matches, and this is one of the first two. And then the rest of the stuff I was kind of just, like, listening to. So I'm going to miss a little bit of stuff, and I couldn't really go back and watch it.
That's all good.
But this was really good. Really,
it was a good match.
What you want out of a cage match? That's for damn sure.
Especially a WWE cage match, because my big gripe with WWE style cage matches is the fact that like you can win by escaping, and I don't like that. I prefer like to me the cage should be able to just keep all the bullshit out and keep the two wrestlers in.
Yeah,
and so it just solidifies a pin count or submission. That's just my only thing about WWE style cage matches. But despite me not liking seeing Zoe Starks there, despite it being a WWE style cage match, it was still a really good match.
Has that always been a thing in WWE? Like when you leave the cage, you like it's over.
As long as I've been watching it, that's been a thing.
That's interesting. That's a weird rule.
My only thing is are we getting, when Trish comes back, are we getting Trish versus Zoe? Because if we are, then I don't mind the Zoe shit at the end, because I like that they're doing something with her. I really like Zoe. I think she's very good. She's a very good in-ring performer, I think. So if Trish is going to come back, that's why they did it, so that her and Trish could feud and put her over so that she could start getting over. I'm down for it.
Yeah, I'd let it cook.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's a very, very classic, steel cage match.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any gripes with it, really, besides the Zoe Stark shit, but yeah. I put this in there to get y'all's thoughts about how he was as a host.
I enjoyed him as a host.
He was there.
I enjoyed him as a host. Especially that goofy segment he did with who was he doing that segment with? Where he had the suit jacket and all that. I enjoyed it. I thought it was funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really liked his guest referee spot. Like, I think it was probably Corey or Michael or whoever, but they were saying like he's doing a really good job as a ref because I forgot he was there, and like
yeah,
you know, like
he didn't
that's
stand
a really
up.
good ref job because like you're not supposed to really see or like be a part of it, you know.
Like, yeah, it's John Cena, but he shouldn't be the center focus if he's the referee.
Right, exactly. So,
yeah.
But
I like that too, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see him do. I would like to see him on TV more, but like doing other stuff aside from just wrestling, because I enjoyed him as a host on Payback. I liked it.
He's supposed to come back and do Grayson Waller effect, right?
I believe. So. Yeah. He's supposed to do that.
My wife and I just watched Vacation Friends 2 with him in it today.
How was that?
Awful.
Have you seen the first one?
Yes.
What'd you think of the first
one? I enjoyed the first one more.
I enjoyed the first one.
But yeah. This one was rough. It was rough.
So the girl who plays the wife, this is just like a small side quest. So I got hip to that movie. I didn't know this movie existed. When I was working at the cemetery, we had this one dude that worked there. His name was Blue, and he was a wrestling fan too. And he was telling us, John Cena's in this movie called Vacation Friends. It's on Hulu, right? And he watches a lot of dumb shit. I'm gonna keep you the beat. He watches a lot of really stupid shit. But he swore up and down that this movie was like really, really funny, right? So he's like, watch the movie, right? Watch it. I'm like, all right, just because it's Cena, I'll give it a shot. So I watched it, right? And it's not really my bag, right? But I still ended up enjoying the movie, right? The girl who plays Cena is his wife, right? That's his wife. Yeah. The girl who plays his wife is in another TV show. It's called Search Party. I think it's on HBO Max. Me and my wife watched that show during the pandemic. Really good fucking show. So if y'all ever are looking for like a TV show to get into, and if you have HBO Max, I recommend y'all check out Search Party.
Search Party.
She plays the best friend of the main character. She's very funny.
Yeah.
Back to the wrestling. I enjoyed this match. I like this match.
Me too.
I didn't think I would. And it's fucked up because whenever I see Miz, as much as I big up the Miz, I can't help but just when I see him on paper, I'm just like, yeah.
I'm the same way. I don't know.
You know what I mean? He keeps me entertained. Don't get me wrong. He keeps me entertained, but wrestling wise, I know what I'm getting from the Miz, right? Mm-hmm. But he still I still end up often being like, reminded that Miz is still like, although not he's not like an AJ Styles or like a Ricochet, he's still a pretty good wrestler. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I enjoyed this match. Like you said, and I didn't even think about it till you said it, I really do like the fact that even though John Cena was there, you weren't really paying attention to him too much other than the fact that it's John Cena as a special guest referee. Yeah. So I enjoyed this match. And the right person won.
About midway through the match, you forget John Cena's there, and that's really good because,
seriously,
because he easily could have been a distraction, depending on what the circumstance was.
Even those little interactions with him and the Miz when they would argue and shit like that, it didn't overstay its welcome in terms of it being there. Like I liked it. I didn't think I was going to enjoy this match as much as I did.
Facts. What about you, Hambone?
I enjoyed the match. I did love, obviously LA Knight winning. I loved afterwards Cena kind of, putting his stamp on LA Knight at the end there. Maybe teasing a little something, maybe for the future. Mm-hmm. I just love that it looks like WWE is finally behind
pulling
LA
the trigger.
Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're finally pulling the trigger. They are behind him. They are acknowledging the props that he's getting. I read he just signed a new contract, and they're planning to have him be one of, if not the top face on SmackDown. So I'm just happy to see that. Happy to see him get some wins, win a feud that mattered with somebody where it mattered, and just to see where he goes from here, really.
For Friday, and I know we're probably going to get to this past Friday, but just Friday, like he got a crazy pop. They went nuts for him on Friday.
Yeah. It just keeps escalating the pops.
I like seeing it. because we don't see stuff like this often.
Yeah.
So I enjoy being present, and it not just kind of just like going in one ear and not the other. Like it's just nice to, because I remember like earlier this year we were all sitting here like, you know, the fans are into him. Why the fuck does this motherfucker keep losing? Like we were like very angry for him, and now it looks like everything that we wanted we're finally getting with him, and it's good to see.
I think a big thing too was that when he first started getting really like people were popping for him and everything, it felt really similar to how they treated Liv Morgan last year, where like for some reason everybody wanted Liv Morgan to be champion, and then she won Money in the Bank, she became champion,
didn't care no more.
Like that, you know, like it was nuts. Like, so I'm really glad they didn't do that, because that would have, you just would have blew their load, you know, for lack of a better term, and then it would have been done.
I got a bit of a theory, not a hot take, but a theory. Whenever, how about this? Whenever we do theory, right? Whenever we do theory, we should just like all just do this.
I got you.
So my theory is when him and Miz, I got Sheila over here on the side. She really enjoyed that. But check this out. So my theory is that because I felt like that promo that him and Miz had a couple weeks ago was very, very telling. Especially when Miz, because Miz got a lot of shit off that promo. Especially when he told him that you could very much be the flavor of the day, the month, like what have you. And then they just move the fuck on months, weeks, somewhere down the line. I have a theory that I feel like he might not have really thought of it like that before, and that kind of sat with him. So I feel like
you're talking about LA?
Yeah, LA.
Okay.
And I feel like ever since that promo, I feel like he's just kind of turned up the heat a little bit more and trying his hardest for that not to happen.
I could agree there.
Because every time I see, because ever since Miz said that, I ain't gonna lie, when Miz said that, that was in my head for a minute too, where I'm like, you know, damn, that might happen to him because we've seen it happen. But every time I've seen him since then, it just feels like he's just kind of turned up the heat a little bit more, and I like seeing it.
I don't know if you guys saw this, but kind of in that same vein, I read something, and I don't know if it's true, but I did read that apparently when he got hired again, because, you know, this is his second run in WWE. You know, his first run, he never got out of developmental a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
A long time ago before he was even in TNA.
Gotcha. Okay.
So this is basically his second try there. And he told them when he got hired, if I'm not over in 3 months, then just let me go. And I think that's very telling of how confident he is in his abilities to get over, and he knew that he could.
How long was he Max Dupree? Was that was very short?
Maybe
but
like a month.
how long was it actually?
I feel like that was maybe like a couple of weeks.
For NXT?
No. When he came to
SmackDown.
the main roster with the models and shit. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I feel like that was only like 3 weeks, maybe a month at the most.
Yeah.
It was
Like they introduced Maxine, and then he was like, "Yeah, and you know what? I'm LA Knight," and then just you know. It's so wild. Yeah. Did y'all see that?
Well, put it this way: when did Vince get fired? Because that's when it all changed. The next week, he was like, "Yeah, I'm not doing this anymore."
Yeah.
Damn, that is the same time, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Did I tell you about that theory that someone had on TikTok? Someone wanted him to be LA Knight on SmackDown and then be Max Dupree on Raw, and then just never question it. Like no one ever fucking just like just, that's Max. That's fucking that'd been hilarious.
Wasn't he supposed to be somebody's man? Oh, never mind.
I don't know if you're aware, Nick, because I know that you're a newer fan, but Khan, you know how Sami Zayn was El Generico.
Yeah.
I have wanted him to be Sami Zayn on one show and El Generico on another for years, and just to constantly and have like people bring it up to him, like have the announcers bring it up, and him just vehemently deny it every time that I am not El Generico.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Just see where it goes.
It's like when Hulk Hogan was pretending to be what was it, Mr. America?
Mr. America.
Yeah. That shit like that. Shit like that.
He could have just had it too, where like with LA Knight, like have Kevin Owens. Remember, he was like with Elias and Ezekiel. He was like the only one who knew. Like you could just have him do that again. He's like, why do they keep doing this? Why do they keep having different people come in and the same people? Like,
that'd be even funnier because it's Sammy too, so it's like his best friend. Yeah. Just imagine how annoyed he'd be.
Him of all people would know.
Shit. What are you doing?
That'd be nuts.
Yeah.
The group grunt, which is like fuck. Well,
coldest take in the world.
Take
in the world. Yeah, cold take. I am so sick of seeing Austin Theory.
I gotta grab a fan. Give me a second.
We talked about this in the group chat for SmackDown, though. I could get behind him and Waller together as a tag team, but by himself, I'm there too. I don't care about him. I gotta be
behind that too.
Yeah, I gotta get invested in that more. I don't know anything about Grayson Waller besides the main roster version of him.
Sure,
because I haven't watched NXT.
I mean, it's not any different than the NXT version, but I just think that he's I think he's a great heel. I think he's a good talker. I think he's got a lot of charisma. So I really like Grayson Waller.
Okay. Yeah, I think their personalities fit for sure, especially if Austin Theory goes back to the social media fucking selfie guy.
Oh God, I hated that. Yeah,
yeah, but that's who Grayson Waller is now. If you went back to that, like, it would make total. It already makes sense, but it would make total sense if you went back to that character. I don't think it makes a difference either way. I would like to see them interact as a tag team. I haven't seen it yet, with my own eyes. So yeah, I'm with it. I just want to see it.
I think one of the reasons
is a solo act.
I think one of the reasons I want to see it so much too is because, like you said, Austin Theory brings back that phone gimmick. Obviously it makes sense, but I think that Waller and Austin Theory would be great as a tag team because they both have what the other is missing, in my opinion. Austin Theory is a much better in-ring wrestler than Grayson Waller, and on the other side, Grayson Waller has way more charisma than Austin Theory does. So I feel like they would gel because they'll really help each other,
they fell in each other's blinds.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Austin Theory would, do more of the heavy lifting in the ring, and Grayson Waller does the talking for him.
Okay, I'm with that.
I like that.
Yeah.
This match didn't really care for this match.
It happened.
I think this match is only like 8 minutes long or something.
It was cute. I'm not gonna be disrespectful. I didn't care.
It was cute.
I did because Rey Mysterio's involved. Because Rey Mysterio's involved, I'm not gonna be like that. It was I didn't care for the match.
I don't know. I'm hoping that they're going somewhere with Rey's title win because right now it's just like, all right, why has he got this title?
Yeah, he just got it.
Is Santos gonna turn on him? Is Carlito coming back? Like, what the fuck is going on right now?
Yeah.
So, and I'm hoping that this match was the end of this feud too. I'm hoping that it's the end of Theory in the title division because he needs to go do something else.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't care for Theory. He can go to the tag team division and go against somebody. I really want to see. This is so off topic, but it made me think of the tag team division. I want to see Judgment Day versus Street Profits, whatever they're calling themselves, because when they teased that, was that last night or on Raw? That was 2 nights ago on Raw. That I want to see that. That could go.
Wait, you talking about you want to see them? You want to see them on some like tag team shit or like crew versus crew?
Both. I want to see Street Profits versus Judgment Day, and then Judgment Day as a whole versus Bobby Lashley and them. I would love to see like those two go for a minute because I feel like that's like the way Judgment Day carries themselves versus how Bobby Lashley and them already carry themselves. It seems like kind of opposite, but it works, and I would like to see that more.
Yeah, I'm with that. I'd like to see that shit too. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of Judgment Day.
Speaking of.
All right. I'm sure we've voiced our opinions before. At least Hambone has. I don't really remember what Nick said, but let's have an honest. Before we get into this match, let's have an honest opinion about Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Thank you so much, baby. Let's do it.
Yeah. What are you getting at?
How are we feeling about them as a tag team since they've gotten back together? How do we feel?
As soon as they took them out of the Bloodline storyline, they both dipped in popularity. Neither of them are as over as they were before, which is not their problem. It is WWE's problem because they have not followed up with it. I mean, they're both amazing performers. I just don't think that they need to be a tag team. I think that they're better singles than they are together, especially because they're just not putting them together.
I was about to ask if y'all wanted to see them in more tag team stories, but I'm with him. I'm not really interested in seeing this tag team run go any further than this. They don't need to split up. I don't want to see them feud again. Like
that's what I was gonna say too, Con. I don't need to see them feud. I just don't really care for them as a tag team anymore.
Yeah, been there, done that. They can both still be boys and go off and do the whole single run thing. That's kind of what I'm more interested in. But I think I'm over Sammy and KO as a tag team. And I will also say this too, because I will give them the flowers as well because, well, Kevin Owens specifically, I love Sami Zayn, and I think we gave him a lot of flowers during his run with the Bloodline. But Kevin Owens, the fact that he's been able to, was the Stone Cold Steve Austin match the WrestleMania before this one?
Yeah.
For 2 WrestleManias, he's been able to main event one of the nights, and he's nowhere near the championship picture, but he's still been able to man it. Like that has to be a testament to just how good of a worker and how good of a wrestler and how good of a storyteller Kevin Owens is. And I think that it's criminal that he is not he has not had anything past just one world championship reign. It's just it's insane to me.
I 100% agree.
It's crazy, dude. Like he got Stone Cold Steve Austin, the greatest wrestler in WWE history, to come out of retirement. And Austin looked good in that match, bro. I was very pleasantly surprised. He looked great in that match. And KO got that, bro. And then the year after that, he main events again. I can't think of too many guys that can do that. You know what I mean? So I think that whatever they have him do next, if they have something for him to do next, I just think that he deserves much better than what he's currently doing in WWE. Not that it's a problem per se, but I just think that it should be recognized a little bit more about the fact that he is not in the world championship picture at all. But for 2 years in a row has main evented one of the nights of WrestleMania.
Yeah, he could definitely be bigger. I think is where you're at. I think it's like as big as WrestleMania is, he could definitely have more opportunities for titles mainly.
That match with Austin, my bad to cut you off, bro. That match with Austin could have been against anybody. You feel me? Like, it could have been against anybody.
Yeah,
it was with him.
KO got to do it, and I really think that for guys like KO and other guys that we might not be thinking of, I think the World Heavyweight Championship is where these guys kind of could enter their name into, because like we've been saying on this goddamn show, man, Seth Rollins does not need that championship. He does not need that title. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's good. He's never going to not be over. So give this title to somebody else. And
to guys who deserve
like a real good person to put it on.
Yeah. KO is and has been one of my favorites in WWE for a long time. If you're asking me who my current favorites in WWE right now are, my answers are probably going to be Cody and KO.
Same.
Like, that's how big of a fan I am of him. And KO is one of those guys where, like, you tend to forget how fucking good he is.
Dude.
Like, there's not anything when it comes to being a wrestler that he is not good at.
His
that
main
he is
event,
not exceptional at.
His first main event feud was against John Cena.
Yeah.
And they had, in my opinion, one of the best wrestling trilogies in the last 10 years, because that series of matches, the KO versus John Cena series, boy, was I blown away. Because that was when, I think that was like deep when they were, the whole like John Cena can't wrestle thing was just like really, really big. And watching that match, it was just like, oh yeah, he can fucking wrestle. And KO was just like, I kind of sort of knew about Kevin Steen in Ring of Honor, But my introduction to Kevin Owens was when he showed up in NXT, and immediately I was a fan. I loved the look, I loved the wrestling style. I just loved it all. And to see him feud with John Cena as the NXT champion, and that was during when John Cena was doing the US title shit. KO deserves a lot more than what he gets, man.
Yeah. I think that Triple H realizes how good he is, too. He's
I think
obviously
so,
a Triple
too.
H guy.
I think so,
I
too.
don't know what it is that he has not been put in the main event and kept there yet. I don't know if it's maybe, I mean, pretty much everybody who talks about KO outside of the ring talks about what a nice guy he is. I don't know if it's because he's not the type to politic and he's just going to go there and do his job or what it is. But he deserves to be in that main event and to stay there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'd be, you know, I know you were talking about Seth Rollins, Nick. I would be fine with either Kevin or Sammy taking that belt off.
Same.
Me too. Yep, me too.
Sammy too.
As a matter of fact, if you're gonna break them up, have one of them win it, and then I'm okay with feud.
Mm-hmm.
I'll watch them feud over the world title.
Sure,
that'd be
true.
interesting to me.
That's great.
No.
I think, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but besides Cody, I really feel like WWE has a very difficult time trying to find other things for people to do when they get out of the bloodline story.
Yeah.
Like, I could really think of a bunch of examples of people who entered themselves into the bloodline and came out and had nothing for them.
Yeah.
And
I think that's why we are where we are with that bloodline storyline, where
right
now we're all like, what the fuck is going on right now? It's because they don't want to lose the momentum they had with it, but it's clearly petered out and they don't know what to do now because they didn't do anything else. The only other person that really has a long-term storyline right now is the Judgment Day.
Yeah.
So, boys,
that's on and off.
How do we feel about this match? I enjoyed the match, despite everything that we just talked about. I enjoyed the match.
I thought it was a fine match. I didn't think it was like amazing or great, but it was fine. But I'm happy that the Judgment Day won because they needed to win. In my opinion, they deserved to win. It was time for Sammy and KO to drop those titles. So I enjoyed it because of what the ending was and what it's going to lead to.
Yeah, all the gold on Judgment Day is exactly what needed to happen for Judgment Day. I'm glad it happened. The only thing that could be better than this right now would be to see Dom with a main card title. I don't know what that would be right now, but
are you saying you want Dom to be the one to beat Gunther? Is that what you're saying, Nick?
That's how I took it.
Yo,
that's what it sounded like to me. That's what it sounded like to me.
You know what? I could see a thing. I have a theory. Here's a theory. Right? I feel like Damian gives that Money in the Bank briefcase to Dom, and Dom does whatever he wants with it.
Tell me why.
I think now that he has, because the Undisputed Championships are two different belts. So absolutely. I feel like if he's going to do the tag team thing, both storyline and both in Damian's interest, I think it doesn't behoove. They're going to kidnap or hijack, whatever word you want to use there, the Money in the Bank briefcase because he's going to be doing tag team stuff now with Finn. So maybe he just gives it to Damian as like, hey, like little brother pat on the back thing, like, hey, go get your title, go get it, go get another one. Because I feel like also too, like I feel like they would want that NXT North American title back in NXT. I don't think they would really want Dom to keep holding it forever. Right. So you make him lose that, and then he just hands it the briefcase and like you get whichever one you want. American, you can go back out. His dad's got the fucking U.S. title. I mean, you can do that again right now. Have him beat his dad at some sort of big pay-per-view. I don't know what's next, Survivor Series, or just pop up on him and do it. You know, because they did when they first did the Money in the Bank thing, they did say that they could go after any title they want, not just the world title. So I don't. It could be Seth again, but I feel like we've seen a lot of Judgment Day and Seth. And I don't know if I believe Dom beating. Fastlane is the next one. You're right. But I feel like I've seen a lot of Seth and the Judgment Day, and I don't think I personally believe Dom beating Seth unless it's something like messed up, or like someone jumps in. But yeah, I think Ray having the U.S. title and Dom needing a real main card title would be a story right there.
So the only thing you do that, you're taking the mid card title off of SmackDown. Yeah.
Okay.
I know that we're not really following this brand split to the T as usual, but I actually think that Finn's stealing the Money in the Bank contract. I think that that's what JD McDonough did. He swapped out those briefcases.
I heard that rumor too.
He kept the contract in the green one.
Really?
Damien's going to go to cash it in, and it's not going to be in there. So,
Ooh. Okay, interesting.
what's going on, B-roll? So, this happened too. It was weird to have this on a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
It was weird to have an interview segment on a pay-per-view.
This should have been on Raw.
Yeah, this is more like a Monday Night Raw segment.
Yeah.
It was a little weird. And I've told this to y'all in the chat before. I like Jay. Not enough to care about a Jey Uso singles run.
I think Jey Uso is a great example of what I was talking about earlier. They're trying to get him out of this bloodline storyline. They don't know what to do with him. It's only been like a week or two, but I mean, like ever since he quit,
I expect him to tap back into that.
I do too, because Jimmy went right back to it. Like Jimmy's like all on the bloodline dick again. It was so weird.
And that's
so we're
gonna get to that too, but that was weird.
The only thing, let's talk about that a little bit though. The only thing that makes sense to me with this Jimmy storyline is that he's decided, I'm gonna get back in and I'm gonna destroy it.
So on some Trojan horse type shit.
Yeah, that's where I'm at now.
That's where because that's
the only thing that makes sense. If not, then why did he bitch about I'm not in it, and then literally the same night I'm back in?
He chose to leave. Like he chose to leave, and then
that was his decision. Right.
So
literally in the same episode, he went from "you don't tell me what to do, and neither is Roman" to "okay, I want back in." Yeah. What changed? The only thing I can think of is he wants to try to destroy it from the inside.
Yeah. I'm letting it cook, but it's like it was just weird. It's very weird.
Yeah.
And also, I don't know why Cody Rhodes had to announce Jay coming to Raw. That was weird too. But
I didn't get that either. Like, why was that his call?
Yeah. The whole segment was weird.
Yeah.
The whole segment was weird.
Very out of place for me.
Yeah. I'm so upset that Raquel didn't win.
I enjoyed this match way more than I thought I would. I thought it was a really good match. Raquel is boring as fuck. She really is. She's got no personality. Her whole gimmick is around, hey, look at my back. Her back's not even big and muscly like it used to be. So we're just looking at a plain back now.
Oh man, that was really.
I didn't care about the feud.
Hey, look at my back.
Her whole thing is.
Am I wrong?
Look at my back.
Am I wrong?
We don't disagree.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
We don't disagree. It's just really funny. Yeah, it's really funny how you put it.
Oh, that's funny.
Hey, look at my back.
They're like, yo, Raquel, what are you thinking for your gimmick? She was like, I gotta show you something real quick.
Check this out. Yeah, no. I was actually on the Raquel train when she first got into the main roster.
Me too.
I was like, she's like, she could do something, and then the more and more I see of her, the less and less I care.
Yeah.
And
I like Raquel a lot, but they're using her wrong. Like, she's bigger than every woman on the roster. She shouldn't be out there just beating people's asses, not smiling and
all we get is nice
teeth with everybody.
Nice.
I know you like this Con when I do this.
Yeah, but like I was with Nick. I was big on the Raquel train, but all we get is some nice ass teeth, like a buff ass back.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's really
look at my back.
Yep. Hey, look at my back. Twice. You gotta see it. You gotta see it on the ramp, and you gotta see it when she gets in the ring.
Yeah, man.
Twice. That's how impressive it is.
Yeah, it don't hit the same in the ring like it do on the ramp. So you got to see
exactly.
it.
Mhm.
That's the 2 look back right there.
Mm-hmm. The double.
Okay.
It's a different lighting.
Yeah.
That's a double backer.
Mmm.
Nick, what are you eating?
Mac and cheese, chicken, and broccoli.
Jesus, you eat a lot of mac and cheese, bro.
Do it?
I feel like every time it's been at least 3 times I've asked and you have mac and cheese.
This is my podcast meal.
Oh, okay.
She makes it for me while I'm on the podcast.
Yeah, okay.
So
Okay.
yeah.
How we doing with our water? Are we hydrating?
Payback.
B-roll's got it.
I got water.
Yeah, hydrate, boys, hydrate.
No specific brand water though. No specific brand water just yet. This could be your brand water if you want to put your logo where the EgoDrip logo is right now and sponsor it.
That's true.
That's true. Ego water.
Ooh.
Ego water.
Ego water.
And that would be trippy.
I made burrito tacos today.
Ooh, nice.
Ooh.
Yeah.
A risky
You made burrito
boy.
tacos a couple.
What'd she just bring you, Con?
2 of some sushi that we had earlier.
Oh. All right, is there anything more to say about this match? I really did enjoy this match, though, honestly. I was not excited for it, but I thought they put on a really good match. And I did not think that Rhea was just going to power her up like that, but damn, she did.
She was rocking the shit.
Picked her up and dropped her like she was nothing. I did not expect that.
Back to the tag team division you go, Raquel.
That's crazy.
Sorry to be
Back
to
it.
the tag team division.
Back to the lab.
This was a good match.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't?
Who doesn't love tacos? You're right.
So this was a good match.
The
intro was hard. Yeah, let me not forget.
Intros were hard.
I thoroughly enjoyed those intros. Those were really
we talked about that in the group text. I really like that WWE is making like different intros and packages, and they're not doing the same old WWE thing. They're trying different things, and all of them are working. Like I really love that Shayna Baszler and Ronda package that they did. Yeah, I love the anime-ish one they did for this. Like they're doing different looking shit than they have.
The intro almost made me think that Shinsuke was gonna win.
Same.
Yeah. But it was a good match. I mean, for the most part, I think we all kind of figured that Seth was gonna go over.
Yeah.
But when I watched that match, it made me forget about that. So I did enjoy that aspect of the match. Was that it was so good that for a minute or two, I actually thought that Shin might take it. Obviously, we saw what happened. He didn't win, but I'm cool with that. You know what I mean? Like, it was still a good match.
I wouldn't be surprised if it happens next time because obviously they're running it back.
Oh yeah, seeing them run it back is giving me a little bit of hope. I would love to see the World Championship on Shinsuke.
Yeah, me neither.
But, we'll see.
No.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, that was Payback.
Payback was very short, only 6 matches.
I put Shinsuke on the list for March Madrip for this look that he had. I really like that bodysuit and that red jacket he came out in. Pretty
he kills
cool.
it every time, man.
Yeah. Seth had an awesome outfit too, but we've already got 2 entries for him, so we need to relax on stuff.
Yeah.
Our March Madrip shit is getting big, bro. I didn't realize how fucking big it is right now. There's got to be.
So we only need to start with 32, and we're already at like 33 looks, which is good. Which is good though because we have people who are on there several times, and I'd like to when we get to it, we choose one look from each person so that it's not. I don't want to end up with MJF versus MJF. Yeah. So.
If we do end up with that, then we can just put them against each other in the bracket first, and then we'll just knock them out right away. Yeah.
Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Yeah. You're a thinker there, Nick. Hey. I like it.
Yeah, Nick likes to ponder, bro. Nick likes to ponder.
So Nick got his 1 month, like I told him.
Well, I had all in. I won all in, and you and me tied this one. You had actually said Shinsuke, Con.
Yeah, I had faith. I really had faith. But maybe it'll happen this next pay-per-view. I still got faith in the boy. I love me some Shinsuke Nakamura. Would love to see a World Heavyweight Championship title run. So I'm gonna keep the faith.
I feel like he's being taken seriously now. You know,
I think so.
Again, I feel like they're behind him, like LA Knight. You know, so I'm hoping. I feel like WWE is really getting to a point where they're starting to get behind guys who are older now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like Cody's 38, Shin's 40, LA Knight's 40. They just rehired Carlito. Carlito's like 45 years old. Like,
you don't look like it.
No, he doesn't. You look better than me. That's
real quick, boys. Real quick. If y'all hear a little bit of commotion in the back, my mother-in-law just got home from work, and Finn is going crazy because he loves him so much.
Okay. That's cool. He's allowed.
Yeah, I allow it.
Yeah, that's another thing.
I mean, I've got 3 dogs. I know how it is. You know.
Oh,
we need.
I saw what you posted on Facebook about the dog and the owner with the bad legs or whatever it was. Oh, that made me.
You read that whole thing?
Yeah, that got me hot, bro.
Dude, I had like 5 minutes with that motherfucker.
All right, yeah, give me a.
Essentially,
side quest.
Big side quest. So, essentially, this guy found shelter for his neighbor's dog or something. So they knew this guy, and the dog was found with their back legs not working anymore, and apparently the owner wanted to put him down and couldn't find a fucking bullet for his gun, so he tried to strangle it to death.
Whoa!
And the dog got away, luckily. And then once I think the neighbor or something, they figured that out, so they just took it, and now they're trying to find like an actual home for it. But hearing that fucking story, I was heated.
Yeah. I hate people. Not a big fan of them.
That's crazy, bro.
That's fun.
All right, well, let's get off of that because that's a downer for me. I get
angry. Downer.
Yeah, fuck that side quest. Fuck that side quest.
That was the worst side quest we've ever done.
I don't like that.
All right, so then we had All Out. And I know that you guys probably felt the same way I did, right? We didn't think that this was going to be good, right?
I definitely had my doubts because of how good All In was and how short of a time we had for All Out. Yeah. So I definitely had my doubts.
I expected I expected to see like a big cool down with this paper.
Yeah.
But I mean, let's be honest. This is why we all had our doubts.
Yeah.
As we know.
Give me 1 second.
Oh boy. Yeah, he's got to go collect himself.
Yeah, this is fun to see. This is fun.
Yeah. I know that you, Connor, like me, you're a huge Punk fan. Of course. So I was really looking forward to finally seeing him live since I was there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Damn.
Yeah. So, but he brought it on himself.
Yeah. So Hambo, where were you when this news broke? Like where? Because you were in town, right?
I was. Because it broke on Saturday, so I had to have been already working at Starrcast because I was up in there at 7 a.m. So, yeah.
Oh man, this is frustrating to read. This is very frustrating, especially like Hambo said, as two CM Punk fanatics. And I've actually, it's no secret. If you follow me, especially on TikTok, it's no secret about just I share my personal feelings as a fan of wrestling and how I feel about the Elite in this whole situation. But just because I'm a CM Punk fanatic doesn't mean I'm not objective. And when you fuck up, bro, you fuck up. And this was 100% on him. And these are the things about Punk that, although still a fan, these are the things about Punk that pisses me the fuck off about him, is that he doesn't know how to get out of his own way sometimes, a lot of times.
I think you and I said it, Con, just fucking chill out, Bill. That's all you had to do. That's all you had to do. You could have, and you know what? Like I believe that both men were in the wrong here. I don't think that. I think that Jack Perry was wrong for wanting to bring real glass because that's just fucking dumb. Like, why would you do that when you don't have to? First off, but secondly, Why would you go into business for yourself and start some shit at the biggest show the company's ever had?
Yeah.
So he is not without fault, but at the same time,
I think Himbo froze.
could have just not said anything.
There you go.
Yeah,
I heard.
no,
You froze for a second, but
Yeah, so like you would have thought that he would have learned from Brawl Out. Like you could have just not said anything. You could have just kept your fucking mouth shut and
that was the most
let
disappointing part.
TK deal with Jack Perry.
Yeah, that was what was the most frustrating part. Was just like, it's like, dude, you didn't learn shit.
Yeah,
you don't have to fuck with that.
Nope.
And as far as we know, it took the first guy to say something or do something to him for him to just get right back on that fucking high horse. Yep. And that's where like really is like frustrating and kind of disappointing. It's just like, it's like, bro, we did a whole ordeal where you got suspended and everything. We gave you a whole show, and the first time someone gets on your nerves, this is what happens. Or first time someone gets in your face, like this is what happens. Like this is upsetting, bro.
On that same vein, and I think Con, you'll agree with me here. You know what annoys me the most about this? Punk became everything that he used to hate, and not only that. What Jack Perry did at All In 20 years ago, CM Punk would have done the same fucking thing.
1,000,000%.
He'd have done the same fucking thing because he's that kind of guy.
He has done the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
He has.
What makes
he
it even
literally
crazy,
became all the old heads that he bitches about. That's
what
exactly
makes it double crazy is that what Jack Perry did, where he just kind of sat there and just called Punk out. Didn't Punk do the same shit to Hangman Page a couple weeks prior?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Come on, dude.
Yeah.
Yep.
Come on, bro.
Like I'm with Con when he says, because you made a couple TikToks about the Elite, Jack Perry, Heyman, whatever you want. Like none of these people are innocent. Like they all have a part. They all play.
They all play a role.
And I think when you really look at from a business standpoint, and just seeing where the common denominator is with a bunch of people in this locker room. And when it gets to this level, it's like you kind of just have to cut that out. Even if, like you said, Jack Perry's getting in his face or they go attack him in his dressing room, whatever it is, you got a lot of problems. And when Tony Khan is running a business, I don't understand how people are thinking that Tony Khan just is like at wrong for this. I don't get that at all.
Like if he didn't do anything, it would have been he's spineless, he's pussy. It would have been a whole bunch of shit if he didn't.
He was spineless.
Everybody bitched and complained that he did nothing about Brawl Out, and then he did something.
I think he froze.
Yeah, he froze again.
Give him a second.
Am I here?
Yeah, there you go.
You're here now.
So they bitched and complained that he did nothing about Brawl Out. Yeah. Then he did something here, and they bitched and complained about him doing something.
Yeah. He can't win.
The guy can't win.
Can't win.
The only way you win is if you protect your fucking people that you have to work with.
But he's the boss, too.
And that's what he sounded like he did.
He's the boss, and someone has to be a bad guy. And so who better be a bad guy than the boss?
Yeah. So if he really did it to protect his people and he really felt like his life was threatened during this time, I'm not blaming him. Not at all. Not one bit, bro.
Yeah.
Like someone comes into your house, starts fucking with you, you gotta take charge of that shit.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So I'm with Tony Khan as far as that goes.
Yeah, I'm with him too.
This is a little unexpected, I guess, but I really thought it would be another suspension at the most. I did not think for anything that they would fire him, especially that quickly, but with their investigation, I guess, and everything, and everyone just kind of just unanimously recommending to Khan that they terminate him, like, yep.
There's part of me that can see Punk almost going back to WWE just to shove it in AEW space.
That was my next question to y'all.
I think he's done. I think he's done too.
I think that's the last time we'll ever see him in a wrestling setting.
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't really believe he would want to go back to WWE.
I wouldn't think so either.
Yeah, they said that he did put out some feelers before he went to AEW, and he wanted to work with Kevin Owens. Is that true or not? Who knows? But
yeah,
but either way, he had a bad experience in WWE. Now he's had a bad experience in AEW. I think he's done.
I just don't think any company would really put themselves in this line of fire for one guy.
No,
like,
major
as big as this guy is, man, as big as a draw as he fucking is, bro, you're doing a lot to get a little bit of ratings and a little bit.
A lot of baggage that comes with it.
Yeah, like it's just not, you know.
Yeah. As a Punk fan, I think this is the last thing I'm going to say about it. He literally is. He's 1B for me. You know what I mean? It's Shawn Michaels, and then it's him. And I am terribly disappointed in him as a person for ruining probably the best comeback in wrestling that we all waited for so long, and really fucking tarnishing his legacy. Like, I'm really fucking disappointed in him as a person. As somebody that I looked up to, that I saw, like, he was one of my favorites because I saw a lot of myself in him. You know what I mean? Sure. And as somebody who sees that, to see him do this, I'm fucking really disappointed.
Yeah, man, I feel let down. I feel let down by a hero.
Yeah.
I'm a 30-year-old man, 31, excuse me, but like still a hero. And just watching him as a teenager and just, again, identifying myself, seeing myself in him, and him just, you know, being such an influence on the person that I am today. And I mean, I remember where I was when he returned. I was with Nick. We were in Richmond. I was doing my comeback show, and we were backstage on the phone. You know what I mean? I got all my fucking shit on for my performance, and we're sitting backstage watching his return. You know what I mean? And this is Nick's first time seeing him in a wrestling ring. You know, at that time. So it was just a real live, man. And just to go from that to this, it's such a let fucking down, man. Like, it really is.
Yeah,
I came home to I came home to that Punk jacket I bought sitting at my doorstep, though.
Yeah.
Gone. So that was nice. And I got another one that's on order that I pre-ordered before all this.
There you go, a little consolation prize. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Well, is there though? Because now I'm like, do I want to wear this shit anymore?
Yeah.
Fucking wear it.
Yeah. Man.
The one though is that black and white jacket that he wore at Revolution Ring of Honor. It doesn't say his name on it. So it's got the little skull and crossbones and the triple X on the back.
I got the Triple H jacket right here, the one that he wore when he came back from his injury. I got that one right here. It's right behind me. I'm gonna wear that when I come back to VA in the fall or in the winter or whatever.
Oh yeah.
All right, we're moving on from that. That's
bye, Punk.
No, thanks, bud.
Hope you find your dad.
Me.
All right, so let's get into it. So after the Punk stuff, obviously, I feel like all of us were like, "Oh God, what is this show going to be?" Because they announced it before the show. They announced it before Collision. I was at Collision. It is the most uncomfortable I've ever been at a show when Tony Khan came out. That is that fucking honest truth. I have never felt that uncomfortable at a show.
Please tell us, bro. I really want to know about your experience with this, bro.
It's funny because I'm sitting there with B-Roll and XLJ. We all went together.
Shouts out to them. Shouts out to them.
And I even said to them beforehand, I say, "Hey guys, you guys think that TK is going to come out here like he does before every show?" And all of us were like, "No fucking chance." So we look up at the stage and we see a chair just sitting there. We're like, "Oh, Sean Spears is coming out."
Right.
Now TK comes out and he sits down to do his speech, and it is just an immediate flood of booing. Just some of the biggest booing I've ever heard. And you know, he's trying to explain his point, and you know, he got really fired up and angry at one point because you know, he said, "Hey, you know, this is the first time I've ever felt threatened. This is the first time I've ever felt that my employees were threatened, including people who are not wrestlers, who were not involved." And once he said that, a little Tony chant broke out. And once it did, he was like, "No," like he was like, "No, you were just booing me a minute ago. No, like I'm telling you that I'm pissed off because of this." And then like after that, it was like the crowd completely turned. Yeah. But when he first came out, the booing, like for the first few minutes, like I was concerned. I was uncomfortable. It was the weirdest feeling I've ever felt at a live show. It really was.
So I have two questions, right?
Yeah.
One, did you feel like, did it get to the level like where you felt like unsafe? Like you thought people were gonna like really like get dangerous, or no?
So I thought beforehand that was a possibility, yes. But
Okay.
I did not personally feel like I was in danger, especially because I was with other people, and none of us were small people.
Yes, right.
So I didn't personally feel like I was in danger, but there was a part of me going into it was like, this could be bad. This could be very bad.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah,
That's nuts.
And I've never felt that or thought that going to a wrestling show before. Never. In my
Bit of
life
a
have I
hostile
walked in
environment,
thinking
bro.
this
That's
might
crazy.
get violent. I've never felt that before. So
That's insane, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
bro. Like the
God.
first thing when I first saw that press release, the first person I thought of was you, because I was like,
Yeah,
"Yo,
dude.
he's in there, bro. Like he's fucking." It's
He's
like,
in
you know,
a
here.
Chicago wrestling crowd.
you both texted me and were like,
Yeah,
I'm
bro.
not even joking. Like,
okay?
be
Yeah.
careful. Like,
Yeah, bro. Because
A Chicago wrestling crowd who just got told that their hero got fired right before their post biggest show ever in said hero's hometown. Yeah, bro, we were concerned.
Yeah, and he won't be here tonight, and he won't be here tomorrow, and he won't be here ever again.
Oh my God.
That is crazy to hear.
He works here. Yeah, not no more. He don't.
My second question is: do we know why Tony Khan felt threatened for his life? Like, do we know the real logistics of what happened?
The only
obviously we don't know the real because we've never seen it. But
the only report that I kept seeing was that evidently, during the exchange between him and Jack Perry, there was a point where Punk had lunged at Tony, to attack him, evidently.
Yeah.
And that's when Punk was yelling, "I want to quit! I want to quit!" or some shit like that.
Oh my God, that's nuts.
I've seen that. I've seen 3 different versions of that report from 3 different sources.
Yeah.
So I love the Punk fans bashing Jack Perry, by the way, by just calling him Luke Perry's son. Like, he just hasn't been out here fucking doing a bunch of shit where he's the one who actually wanted to use real class. Like, that doesn't show or prove your toughness. Like,
yeah, but it's still very dumb.
Yeah, it is very dumb. But I'm saying, he was willing to fucking do it. Like, he's not a bitch. Like Jack Perry's he's not just Luke Perry's fucking son. What?
This is CDC's thing now. He just says CM Punk bans him from everything.
Yeah,
that's his new gimmick.
Gotcha. It's a kid gimmick.
I wonder if he can still ban people from Collision even though he's fired.
Hey. So all that being said, obviously nobody was sure about what's All Out going to be now because it's looking underwhelming. But Collision starts, and then they start the Ricky Starks segment. And at first I'm like, oh man, this is a face promo. Like, is he turning face again after this? All the stuff he was saying about being proud of Big Bill and I'm always here and I'm not gonna be held down by anybody, even though it keeps happening over. Like, it was a real face promo. And he kept saying, I called it before it happened. He kept saying the dragon. When Steamboat came out, he would not say his name. It's just the dragon. And I leaned over to XLJ and I was like, it's fucking Danielson. All he keeps saying is the dragon. He's not saying his name. Like,
even the contract just said the dragon.
Yeah, dude.
Yep. And the pop that he got when that music hit was insane. It immediately turned the crowd. It felt like everybody went, oh, okay. Like, this is going to be an awesome fucking match. That, for me, match saved the pay-per-view.
Everyone in Chicago collective was just like, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
That's funny. Hell yeah. God bless Bryan Danielson.
You can't have your favorite cake, but here's a brownie. Okay, I'll take a brownie.
Right.
I like a brownie.
Too,
I do like brownies.
It's like before Brian came out, it was like when your wife or girlfriend is angry, and then after you fed her some Bryan Danielson, and now she feels better again.
Yeah,
that's how it felt. That's how that crowd felt.
She just needed food.
Yeah.
She was just hungry.
Just needed a Snickers. Just needed a Snickers.
Yeah, she wasn't herself. Yeah. No, that's definitely what
if you want to sponsor us, right up there where it says EgoDrip, we'll change that real quick.
It ain't hard to find.
Yeah.
It ain't hard to find.
I'd be down to be myself.
Yeah.
With a candy bar. You know?
I don't even like chocolate, and I do it.
Yeah. He will after we get a Snickers promotion, though.
All right, let's get into this.
I didn't watch this, but
What's happening here? What's happening with Hangman?
Good question.
This felt like a petty jab. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
That's just me being petty, though, because that's what I would have done. Let's pick the one guy you don't like to win a battle royale at a 0 hour, just because you're fired now. That's what it felt like to me. But I don't understand what I get what the premise was, but I don't know why they keep having these battle royales for essentially no reason.
Yeah.
They just kind of do them, and like they don't really have a thing. I mean, this one was so they could donate $50,000 to charity, as if they didn't already pick that charity and already sent that money anyway. And you think Hangman Adam Page from Virginia cares about the Chicago school fund or whatever it was?
You know what? You know what? I think he does.
You're such a liar.
No, I'm not even joking. And here's why. First off, Hangman, I think, if anything, has proven that in real life he is an actual good human being. But on top of that, the other reason that I think he cares is because he is a former teacher.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a teacher before I mean, not before he became a wrestler, but before he got like really famous and was making money from it.
Good for him.
He was a teacher.
Yeah.
Teachers fucking care about other teachers, you know? Like,
but in Chicago, though,
teachers give a fuck.
Hey, man.
Teachers
give a fuck. I don't think that Hangman's the type that is holding on to that to people that have nothing to do with TV.
No, I don't think it has anything to do with punk. I would think he would donate to where he's from, his Virginia school fund or something like that.
Yeah.
That's what I would think.
He was trying to get over with them, you know. He's trying to win them back.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you, the Chicago crowd booed the fuck out of him.
No way. Damn.
Booed the fuck out of him. They loved Kenny. They booed him. They booed the Bucks.
They love Kenny.
They fucking love Kenny. There was not one. There was not
Kenny
one
was exempt.
person booing for Kenny. But Adam Page and the Bucks, nope, they weren't having it.
Kenny was exempt.
They're not having it.
Kenny's fine, I guess.
Right.
Willow.
This match happened.
We have nothing to say about this match. Not a damn thing.
Listen, I mean, again, we can criticize AEW up and down for their women's division, right? Let's be honest. And I know that I'm probably the only person who's watching Ring of Honor, weekly. But fucking Athena is doing amazing shit on Ring of Honor. She's having banger matches all the time. She's having a great run. She's doing some great character work. She deserves to be on a big pay-per-view. Willow is my favorite, so I'm just going to say that she deserves it because that's how I feel. She does, she just lost the title. Like, there's no reason that these women aren't booked on this show other than poor booking for the women's division.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
It was a match.
It was a match.
Yeah.
It was a match.
Another match.
A match occurred.
This was also a match.
Although,
okay, hold on. Can we talk about this? Because I mentioned this in the group chat, but I want to bring this to light.
What's up?
How is, if everything the Acclaimed has done, they're still getting booked on 0 hour?
Yeah.
And they're still getting paired with Jeff Jarrett, Satnam Singh, and Jay Lethal. Mid-card people at best. Why are we doing this to them?
I got a hot take on that. The daddy ass thing has run its course, and that's why, because they're getting held back at this point.
To who?
I just think it has. I think it has run its course. The daddy ass stuff has run its course. It's not.
I disagree.
Like, we've been seeing it for months now. It's not hilarious like it was. It's just like, all right, yeah, still doing that. Like, you're not doing anything more right now. That's
a real hot take for me because I love the daddy ass thing. I loved everything about it right now.
I just think that most fans are just like, okay, yeah, we're still doing that.
You didn't see the scissor party in Wembley.
Well, I think Wembley's a different story, though. We got 81,000 people who don't get a live show ever.
That's true.
I think that's a little bit different than what we're talking about here.
It's a little different. But I don't know. I don't agree. I think if you're talking about a backstage standpoint, like they don't know what to do with it anymore, I could understand that. But I think the fans still love everything about the Acclaimed right now as a whole. Every time I hear them, it's a pop. It's a big pop. So I can't really say like, I think what either directly or indirectly, booking them on 0 hour, a mid-card show at best, the buy-in, whatever you want to call it, every time it's like that doesn't help the fans loving them anymore, because it's like, why would I love these people? The company doesn't even love them.
Right. This doesn't make me feel like the Acclaimed are a big deal. You know what I mean? Like, I'm kind of with Nick on that, where like I still hear a pretty audible pop whenever they come out.
Yeah.
To me, they're a big deal. They're obviously one of the biggest tag teams / trios in the company. But when you do stuff like this don't make me like, this does not incline me to watch the match. And the fact that like, another thing that got me was that like you got Dennis Rodman there. You know what I mean? And like he was just there. He was just there. And it was just like, this could have easily been on the main card. As much as I love and Sanjay Dutt, obviously a 703 native. I don't give a fuck about Satnam Singh. And Karen Angle. I love me some Karen Angle. Don't give a fuck about Satnam Singh. It's just anytime I see somebody paired with them, I know I'm sorry enough, going to be some bullshit. It's going to be some bullshit. Yeah. And I feel like the Acclaimed and I couldn't tell you what they are, but I feel like there are better stories that can be told with the Acclaimed.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, if they have such a big deal, maybe move them to Ring of Honor, and maybe there's more for them over there. I don't know.
Not a bad idea.
Don't go to Ring of Honor. As somebody who watches it every week, don't do it.
Okay.
There is literally nothing going on in Ring of Honor outside of Athena being the women's champion. Jeez. Claudio's almost never there. Joe's almost never there. There's almost no storylines happening ever, other than what's happening with Athena. They bring talent on all the time who don't even work there. So you're booking talent that don't even work there. You got no storylines. It's not worth it. It's really not.
Okay.
Like, I'm pretty sure that Eddie's going to win this Ring of Honor title, and that's great. But is he going to be on the show? Is it going to matter? Probably not, because they're not doing anything with the show. Speaking of that, Collision, they taped Ring of Honor afterwards, and we all stayed there for it, and we were so angry about it. It was probably one of the worst Ring of Honor episodes they've ever done. All we wanted was fucking Dalton Castle, and they would not give it to us. We stayed the whole entire thing. Shitty matches. They were like 2 to 3 minutes.
Isn't he from Chicago?
Who? Dalton? No, I just fucking love Dalton Castle. We all do.
Can we take another side quest real quick? I know we're like covering stuff. Let's take another side quest, but this is a wrestling side quest. Is there ever been a wrestling show? What was a wrestling show that to you was such a letdown or so bad that you didn't even stay for the whole thing? You walked out.
Ooh.
Oh man.
I
can tell you what mine was. I can definitely tell you what mine was.
I mean, it's probably one of the Saudi Arabia specials where I'm just like, I don't give a shit about this. I'm not even watching this shit anymore.
No. I'm talking about like a wrestling show that you went to physically.
Oh, like being there? I've never walked out of a wrestling show.
Oh, okay. I definitely have.
When was that?
Oh, what is it? Yeah, tell us.
So I was with my boy Omar. Shouts out to Omar the group. I was with my boy Omar. We got tickets to the 1000th episode of SmackDown. I might have told the story already, but maybe not. It's 1000th episode of SmackDown. As somebody who grew up watching primarily SmackDown, I was very excited for it. And they had advertised that Evolution was going to be there and that The Rock was going to be there. Right. I'm like, I got to go see The Rock. Have to. You know what I mean? Love The Rock. So we go. And I think we went to what's it the venue in DC, Nick? What's that one called?
Event DC or like Fillmore or
the one the venue it's the
really big.
I think it used to be the Verizon Center, but now it's something else.
Capital Arena,
but I think it was when it was still the Verizon Center.
Okay.
So we're there, and I want to say this is probably my second WWE show that I've been to. I think the first one I went to was like a Monday Night Raw, and I went there and the energy was just so high, man. We saw all types of people, you know what I mean? And we had only been to indie shows at this point. But I was just so pumped because I'm like, not only did I get to see Evolution, which was kind of weird because Evolution was on Raw, but they were doing this Evolution reunion on SmackDown for some reason. But I was really excited to see that. I get to see Batista, get to see Ric Flair, and then I get to see The Rock. I was just so pumped to see The Rock, me and Omar, and we got to see the Evolution reunion. That was dope to see Ric Flair and see Batista and Triple H and Randy. Rock never showed up. They never even advertised it once, the show went on air. They just act like they never said it. And I remember, I think the main event was like a women's tag team match or some shit like that. Something like that, just something that, but it was like it was a type of women's tag team match that just really made me not care. It was either the main event or the match before the main event. And I remember that match came on, and Omar looked at me. He was like, "Dog, I'm gonna be honest with you. This kind of took me out of it, man. You cool with just leaving?" I was like, "Yeah." We both like drove separately, so I was like, "Yeah, bro, I think I'm gonna just bounce." And we just left, man. Never saw The Rock. I was so sick.
I definitely have been disappointed at a show. My buddy and I went to a WWE house show. It was probably at least 3 years ago now, and they kept advertising, Bray Wyatt's going to be here as the Fiend. Bray Wyatt's going to be here as the Fiend. Got there, never brought up, never seen him. The main event was Roman Reigns, and this was before Bloodline stuff started, so I was still like iffy on wanting to see this motherfucker. And they closed out the show with him. Just didn't even bring up the Fiend. My buddy almost got into a fight with another guy because there was this guy in front of us. And my buddy was so pissed off that Bray was not there. And he was like sick of Roman at this point. So he's just like, fuck this shit, fuck this show. He's angry, right? And the guy in front of him turns around. He's like, dude, I'm here with my kid. Can you shut up? And like, I had to pull him apart because he almost got fight. I'm like, all right, we got to go. Let's get out of here.
That's funny, man. Yeah, that's really funny. I'm trying to think of like some wild shit I've seen at a wrestling show. I can't really think of too. I told you the Tony Atlas story. I can't really think of too many wild things like that. But that's
I've never seen anything crazy at a live show.
Yeah, I never seen anything wild. Anything that wasn't supposed to happen type wild.
Right. Yeah. All right, so let's get into the main show. I enjoyed this match. I think I've made it. I think I've been open about I am a huge Dark Order fan, and I think that they are criminally underused. So I loved seeing that they were in this position. There was part of me that thought maybe they would win because maybe this is where the turn would happen. We didn't get that, but I did like, the story they were trying to tell with Cole and MJF.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the match.
Yeah, I liked it.
I got a hot take. I'm officially not expecting the turn anymore.
Okay.
I do think it's going to happen. I'm just not looking for it.
Gotcha.
So
okay.
I like there's been about 8 times where they could have done it, and they're clearly like, okay, they've won the titles. They got a title defense under the belt. I think they're just going to keep running with this, and then they're going to hit us with the turn at some point. However, I'm not looking for it. I'm not even worried about when it's going to happen. I'm just enjoying the ride now.
This is looking like it's going to be a long-term story.
Yeah, I'm not waiting for the other shoe to drop anymore. I just want to watch it because, again, I've been vocal about it. I love seeing these two together. So just keep that shit coming. Keep that shit rolling.
Yeah.
Bring it to me.
Yeah, I think when it does happen, it'll be near the end of the year because I think we'll get that 2024 shit from MJF. Yep. And then we'll get the turn, and Adam's the one who saves AEW or whatever. That's what I think happens.
Yeah, but this is good.
Loved this match. Absolutely fucking loved this match.
I am not a huge fan of Shane Taylor, but I do love Joe. I was very impressed that Shane Taylor finally bought some new tights for this.
Yeah.
After probably wearing the same shit for 10 years.
Hated that shit.
Nice. He's got some AEW money, I guess, now. But it was a good match. It was a good, hard-hitting match.
Yeah, man. I really love this match. It was everything I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Big, meaty men slapping meat.
Yeah, man.
We're going to get to that.
Two porterhouses.
This is a Big E match right here. That's Big E.
Big and beefy.
I was surprised that Darby did not win this.
Me
Not gonna
too.
lie.
Me too. Jai shocked.
Yeah.
Fucking Luchasaurus and fucking Christian Cage.
Love Christian's. I love that. I ain't gonna lie, bro. It's really funny to see him lean into this like dad shit.
Yeah, it is.
This is what I meant to send y'all. It's so funny because my sister, my younger sister, shouts out Chantel. She used to be a big wrestling fan too, but she kind of just fell out with it. I think when she got to college. I think every now and then she'll try to tap back in, but to her, so much has changed. It's just kind of hard for her to just kind of, just get into it.
Yeah.
But it's always nice to see her whenever she texts me every now and then to just be like, oh, this is a thing. You know what I mean? So she texts me the media scrum with Christian where he was like, how's everybody's fathers? And they asked him about Edge.
Yeah. That was at the press conference.
Yeah.
He had not been there for 10 seconds before he goes, how's everybody's fathers doing?
He got right to it, bro. So she texts me and she's like, because it was a clip of him when they asked him about Edge, because there was those rumors that he was going to be in AEW.
Yeah.
And he said what he said, and she goes, "Is he being serious?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" She goes, "Like, they asked him about Edge. Like, is this like his honest answer?" I was like, "No, like he's
probably not."
I was like, "He's a bad guy." I was like, "He's a bad guy, and he's just playing it up at this press conference." And she goes, "Why does he look so angry?" I was like, "He's an asshole." And she goes, "I didn't even know that Christian still wrestled." I was like, "Yeah, he definitely still wrestles." And she just goes, she goes, "Does he?" Because I think she saw another clip. She goes, "Does he wrestle in a turtleneck?" I go, "Yeah, sleeveless turtleneck." And she goes, "I'm sorry?" I go, "Yeah, turtleneck." She goes, "That's so out of pocket."
I don't love this whole like him trying to claim
he's the team. Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't love that. But other than that, fucking for me, Christian is having like the run of his career right now. He is so good being let to be a heel.
Christian
is so good.
The thing I've always loved Christian.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I'm much like everybody else. We all know that Christian is just very underrated as a wrestler.
Yep.
And how I really do like the fact that like nowadays we don't allow people to like try to have the whole who's better between Edge and Christian conversation. I do like that because goddamn is Christian a good fucking wrestler, man.
Yep.
But one thing that I feel like needs to be kind of recognized is how fucking funny Christian is. Especially when he's a bad guy, bro. He just knows how to be funny. And I just think that it really is funny to watch him lean into this dad thing. Like it's buck wild. And what makes it funny to me is he doesn't waste any time getting to it. As soon as he finds out about your father, he leaves. There's no fat trimmed. He gets right to it. What's up with your dad? I heard he died.
And I was waiting for him to not only do that, but to also just holler at Nick Wayne's mom. Where's your mom at?
Yeah.
And then he did it. I was hoping that he was going to do it. And he went right for it.
Like, look at his face in this poster. That skeevy little, just like it's. He looks so sleazy, and he's so funny, bro.
I've said it before. Christian is just as good as Edge. He just didn't get the push.
He just didn't get the push. That's the only difference, bro. Christian is fantastic, bro.
This match,
the fucking ending of this one.
You guys have no idea how it felt in that fucking arena with the chants. It was so fun. Like it went from really fucking uncomfortable with TK the night before to just all of us being on the same page and just having fucking fun with this match. Thank you, Big E, for giving this match to us.
So when I was still living in Virginia, I want to say specifically when I got my house, Nick and I and a bunch of our friends, probably when I saw my apartment too, we would just like, thank God the local movie theater, like where we lived, would show AEW pay-per-views. So we would always go. And, we knew each other as wrestling fans, but, we didn't know how many wrestling fans lived in the area, and we always found out whenever we would go, and boy, would we have a blast. And that meat chant shit, I don't care. We started that.
We started that
was
shit,
us.
bro.
Every time we went, sometimes we would see the same people every time we would go.
Yeah.
But we would always get a massive meat chant going.
Yep.
The kids, the parents, everybody. It was just really, really, and we popped so hard in the group chat when we were seeing this, and they were just doing
we did.
Oh my God, we were going crazy, man. But yeah, those are my favorite type of wrestling matches to like watch, whether it's live or just on television, is when like everybody like, you know, can just like they completely just mentally just submerge themselves into the match.
Yeah.
And everybody's just into it. Everybody gets it. Everybody's on the same page. Everybody's under the joke. I love like when I took Nick to his first wrestling indie show and we had a safety first chant, or when I think that was the same night. I think that was the same night that we saw Peter Avalon, because that was the bro. That's shit like that makes me love wrestling, bro.
Hell yeah, bro.
And the thing that I loved about it too is that, you know, a lot of times when that happens, where the fans start doing crazy chants like that, it's that we're not into it and trying to hijack the match, and that was not the case here. It was both the fans having fun, but also being into the fucking match. Like we were into this match happening.
I love shit like that, dude. It's so much fun, man. Like again, when we were at that, just like, because you know, like you're as many wrestling diehard fans as you're around in those situations, you're gonna be amongst like, people who like maybe like Nick, who like they never seen a wrestling match, right? So it's cool to like. I remember one time I took like an old girlfriend to a wrestling match. She'd never watched wrestling, and I didn't know what her reaction was going to be. And I took her to an indie show, and like her reaction was that she was just so amazed at what she was seeing. She would just bust out laughing her ass off, but not in a disrespectful way. She just really enjoyed. She wasn't expecting that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's always fun to just see wrestling fans who aren't in on it, see how they react to it, because you'll get like reactions like that, or reactions where they're just kind of just looking around, but everyone's doing a shush chant. You know what I mean? It's cool. Yeah. I really love shit like that.
Of course, AEW, as they have a habit of doing, though, they let me down because, of course, this match was happening, and I sent out a tweet, and I said, I will buy a Meat Forever shirt.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
And, of course, the next day, they released one, and it is the most low-effort, Photoshop-ass bullshit fucking t-shirt.
AEW, y'all are better than that, bro.
Yep.
Y'all are better than that.
AEW, when they first started, had some really cool fucking shirts, and they've literally just gotten into the WWE thing. They put no effort in anymore. Just slap something on there, a word, some font. We're done. We're not putting any thought.
They did not try, bro. They just said,
did not try at all.
They just said $30.
Yep. That's $30 for this. It says meat. $30.
Just meat, bro.
Yep.
All right, bro. So let
me get my shit off about this match.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Because this is what kind of bugs me about. I guess no one's really to blame. But what I don't like about this is I'm a fan of Ruby Soho. I was a fan of hers, Ruby Riott. And they really do give us blue balls when it comes to just these opportunities she gets. I want to see a championship on her. Stop. At this point, I just feel like she's just kind of enhancement talent, and it's bullshit. I don't care for Chris Statlander as a TBS champion. I was never on the Chris Statlander wave. I never disliked her, but I just never cared for her. And I always thought, well, not always. I thought that this was the perfect time to kind of just give the belt to Ruby, because I feel like she's been deserved it. I didn't care for this match. I'll let y'all talk about that. I got mac and cheese as well. Shouts out to the wife. Y'all go ahead and review the match. Yeah, man. Goodles. Shouts out to him.
Ooh, Goodles. I have Velveeta. Velveeta's my shit, bro.
I like Velveeta, bro. I fuck with Velveeta.
The way Cat be making Velveeta, that's my shit. Yeah, I'm starting to cool off on Chris. I was always big on her. I always thought she could beat Jade Cargill when she did, and I really thought she could do something. They haven't done anything with her. I haven't seen her defend this title besides this point right here, honestly. Or the other time when she was lifting Renee, like I think she defended it that night too. but like she really hasn't done much with the title, and it's been like 105 days or something. That's what they said on the Collision last night. Was that it was like, and I didn't even know it was that long. So yeah. That being said, like I can agree with Khan saying like this could be a point where they give it to Ruby and they do something with it, and they just didn't. So I don't know what they're gonna do with Chris Statlander. I really hope they attempt to do something. Maybe it's with her and Jade. Honestly, for me personally, I don't think Jade needs to be anywhere near this championship. I think she should go towards Saraya and the World Championship. Just because that. Seeing Jade come all the way back after being the best TBS champion and then come back and get it again after doing nothing.
I didn't even think we were going to see her back.
I never thought I'd see her again.
I never thought I'd see her
again. So the fact that she would leave after losing and then just come back and get the title, that doesn't impress me much. I'm not gonna lie. It's not like you should move up into the world.
And they're done that, bro.
Me much.
Yeah. Exactly.
Nobody else.
That's me.
Right.
I'm white too. That don't impress me.
So I'm basically just gonna echo your guys' statements. I feel the same way. I love Ruby. Ruby keeps getting pushed to the point where she gets to a title and then they don't pull the trigger. I don't know if that's just a plan for them where they're trying to make it so that when she does win it, it's huge because she, kept getting almost to the mountain and then finally gets there. But I love Ruby. Ruby is underrated. In my opinion, she is the best seller in the women's division in the company. And I agree about Chris. When Chris started, before she was even signed to AEW, she just had a couple matches where she wasn't signed. And I was on the Chris train. I was like, God damn, sign this woman. She's awesome. Like in the ring, I loved her. Then she got hurt. And then she came back. And she got white hot, and then she got hurt again. And she lost all of her momentum. And this return is just not working. It's just not. We don't know what she is. I don't know what this more than a woman shit means.
She was the alien before.
She was the alien before.
But they stopped even doing that because they're saying now that she's booked from Long Island, New York. They used to say she was booked from outer space or something.
Yeah. No, all that stuff is gone. Yeah. But so I don't get what she's supposed to be right now. Like you said, other than that promo with Renee, which was hilarious, she's done nothing that has made me want to watch.
That's pretty much her shining moment for me. Is just that Renee.
Yeah, I vividly remember last night she wrestled on Collision, and they showed a promo of hers, and it was the most boring white meat, basic ass baby face promo I have ever heard in my life. And I turned to my wife. I was like, "They don't let her talk anymore. She needs to not talk because that was awful." So I don't know what it is.
She should be her manager.
She's not gotten that momentum back, and I don't know that
Orange Cassidy her manager.
What's that?
Why isn't Orange Cassidy her manager?
Because Orange's character doesn't like to talk.
Yeah, but when he does talk, it's like it could be just that simple. I would love to see him be a manager and not talk. Because that'd be hilarious.
But then the focus would be on him. Then
I'd agree. He would outshine her. Yeah. I thought Chris before when she first started. I was like, there's something about her, Something. And that's how I feel about Orange Cassidy. Orange doesn't need to talk. There's something about him in this character he doesn't need to talk. She does not have that anymore. Whatever it was, she lost it when she got injured or what. But she needs something. This reign is not working.
No.
This was match of the fucking
brutal.
Absolutely.
A
lot of uncomfortable moments in this match.
Yeah, there were. And we were up in like the 200 section.
Yeah.
There is no reason that up in the 200 section I should have heard the fucking slaps from the strap. It was bad.
Those joints were sick. It was bad. Especially the ones to the face, bro. Like,
yeah. Dude, so speaking of that, isn't Bryan Danielson is a weird dude. Yeah. Am I right? Because you see him outside of wrestling, and he's clearly the most nice, polite, fucking caring human being that there is. And then he gets in the ring, and he's a fucking masochist.
He's a piece of shit.
He is a masochist. He loves getting his ass beat. He loves bleeding. He loves being hurt. and hurting other people. It's just,
And
he's such a
despite the
weird
fact
dude.
that like he had to retire because of like those concussions he was having, he seems to be fine with taking devastating blows to the head.
Bro,
Dude,
That's uncomfortable, bro.
he's a crazy man.
That's insane, bro. I just couldn't, and that's why I could never be a wrestler as much as I love wrestling. And not even being funny, Finn got any toys going crazy. A lot of people say that I'm built like a wrestler because I work out a lot, but that alone is the reason why I couldn't be a wrestler. I just could not subject myself to that level of pain, bro. I already can't handle pain as it is, but like those shots to the face were really graphic, bro, and really rough to watch.
And just no selling most of them.
Dog,
yeah,
it was a bit much, bro. It was a bit much. I had to look away a few times, bro. And then especially those face shots that would come out of nowhere, I could feel them. I didn't. That was. Kudos to them for putting their body through that. Could not be me, dog.
Yeah, this is 100% my match of the night. If you don't think that Ricky Starks is a fucking star after this, you stop watching wrestling.
You're smoking dick.
Not only was the match great, Danielson says after the press conference that Ricky basically carried him in this match because he wasn't. I don't think he was 100%. I think
he said that.
He's been talking.
Huh? Yeah, I think he said that.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. But not only that, that ending was perfect. Ricky Starks, the way that he sold that, fucking perfect. He looked into the camera. He all at once he looked desperate. He looked afraid. He looked in pain, and he also looked indignant. Like I'm not gonna tap out here. I'm fucking afraid right now. I'm about to pass out, but I'm not tapping out. He was perfect in that moment. Fucking perfect.
Yeah, dude. I think with this whole CM Punk situation, it looks. I mean, and this is just perception for real. It looks like the direct because obviously the show was circled around Punk, right? Maybe not perception. Let me say this: if I'm Tony Khan, I'm circling my show around these two guys, Ricky and Danielson, maybe even a Jade Cargill because we saw her too. Mm-hmm. But rather than just one person being the centerpiece of the show, Ricky Starks, in my opinion, has definitely taken advantage of the second show. And with Bryan Danielson, although he's not 100%, it would be cool to see him on Saturday nights too. And with Jade being back, Jade could definitely, just completely run the women's division on Saturday. Mm-hmm. Those are my three picks of who to center the show around with CM Punk no longer being a factor.
Yeah. My only thing with that is that just years and years of pattern have shown me that AEW doesn't really see them as much as they push him. They don't really see him as the guy, and so
I think they're going to have to.
I hope so. I really hope so. Because like
talking about Ricky, or you talking about Danielson?
I'm talking about Ricky.
Yeah, I'm with him. I think they have to. I think that the reaction to him is so big and so undeniable that I think that they can't ignore it.
No, I agree 1,000%. I just really hope that they put two and two together and fucking do it because it's long overdue in my opinion.
In this match right here, we see one guy who was undeniable to the fans, and no matter how hard that wrestling tried to ignore him, I mean, Daniel Bryan, because that's who he was. Bryan Danielson boxed.
I still slip up with that. He's one of the few people I still slip up with.
I know.
I don't know why. Yeah. I don't know if it's because they're so similar names, but I still fucking slip up with him.
But with him, he boxed WWE in a corner because
absolutely.
He was so white hot when he got eliminated from that Royal Rumble. The fans were completely out of it, man. They didn't give a fuck no more. So when we saw that we were getting Batista versus Randy, WWE had no choice but to add him in the mix because they knew they fucked up. And I think they AEW bears to face a similar situation if they ignore the reactions, the very strong reactions he gets, because even as a heel, you know what I mean? Like, I'm still behind him when he talks, bro. Like, I love hearing him talk. And I love watching him wrestle. So I just think that if y'all don't want another, Bryan Danielson yes movement situation, it will behoove y'all to listen to the fans.
Yep.
Yeah. Also, I can't also explain the feeling in the crowd when the final countdown started.
Oh yeah.
Boy, my nipples were so hard, and I feel like everybody's.
They could cut glass.
They could you could hang a raincoat off those motherfuckers. That's how hard they were.
Talk about it. Talk
Not a
about it.
raincoat.
Yeah.
Who has a raincoat?
I like this.
Y'all have a
match.
raincoat?
Yeah, you know, they're long.
Not
heavy.
a coat specifically for rain now.
Yeah, you got what the fuck I was saying.
No. I'm just saying, like, it used to be where, like,
Almost
people
like,
would
fuck
wear
out of here, bro.
People would wear raincoats back in the day, and like, I don't want a raincoat.
Awesome.
You're right. You're not wrong.
Paddington Bear type shit. Yeah.
Yeah, like the big yellow, like fucking whatever that is, like rubber.
Yeah, the whole
Let's bring them back.
Yeah, bring them back. Oh,
Let's bring them back.
Hey,
Let's
next
do it.
week we all gonna show up with a raincoat.
I might. That ass, I might. The raincoat episode.
We gotta figure out a raincoat.
I might do that for real. I might do that if y'all do that.
It's gotta be bright yellow and it's gotta be rubber.
It's gotta have the fucking hood and the boots.
hood,
Watch that Curious George shit.
Yeah, on some real. Yeah, if y'all do that, I'll do that. That's actually really funny.
Yeah.
The
If
raincoat.
I can figure out where to get one, I'll fucking find it. I'll get
Say
it.
less.
Yeah, that's funny.
So how we feel about this match? I liked this match.
I
I knew what I was getting when I saw it. You know, what you see is what you get, but I still enjoyed it.
Yeah.
No, we could-
I enjoyed it. I mean, I love Eddie. He is, you know, one of my favorites in AEW. Shibata, I've been a Shibata fan for a long time. I was very upset, you know, when he had to retire. I never thought I would be able to see him live. So this was cool to be able to see him live.
That's cool.
But yeah, I mean, it was a decent match. I mean, I don't think it was anything like, I don't feel like there's a lot to talk about here.
Right.
But yeah, I enjoyed the match.
I know that leaving AEW and going to Ring of Honor really isn't leaving AEW, but I'm glad that Eddie Kingston is back in AEW. Because him being only Ring of Honor and him just not being in AEW just felt like a void. I'm glad that he's back, and I'm glad to see like they're just doing more and more with him. You know, putting him up against champions, putting up against people who are real. Like there's a story there with Eddie and Claudio, and so they're really doing something with him, and I like that a lot.
Yeah, I feel like AEW kind of cooled off on Eddie for a while, but I feel like now they're getting back
as they do often.
Yeah, I feel like they're getting back behind him again now. So I love to see that because I want to see Eddie at the top personally. So.
Me too.
Eddie, you know, I will entertain people if you want to sit there and say that he's not the best in-ring worker. Sure, whatever. We could discuss that. But Eddie Kingston fucking makes me believe when he's in there. I believe every fucking word that man says when he's outside of the ring. I believe everything he does inside of the ring. And that's why he's one of my favorites.
Most definitely.
Yep, same.
What we got next?
Great fucking match.
Yeah.
Great match.
I cannot believe Kenny Omega's taking somebody else. This is crazy.
Yeah.
This is a little nuts.
Yeah.
But they keep,
Don
selling it as
music
he's the new god or whatever.
Unsettling in real life.
You said what?
I said Don Callis's music is even more unsettling.
Yeah. How was that?
It's very, very loud. It is very loud.
Oh, that's funny as shit.
I could tell when I was listening to. I'm like it. Like at first, when he first started using it, I was like, "Oh, that's actually pretty smart." You know what I mean? Like, what?
It's scary.
Like, when I was hearing it through the TV, I'm like, "God damn, this sounds offensive to the ears."
Wow. It is even worse just being blared from fucking arena.
Just one tone, bro. Just oh my god.
Yeah.
It's like a Moog bass, and that it's just one note, bro, and it doesn't suck.
Perfect for him, though. It really is perfect for his character.
Yeah, he's a sicko.
Yeah. But yeah, good match. I mean, again, I don't really think there's too much to say about it. You know, we're still working out what this Don Callis family thing is. What are we doing here? Like I said, Kenny didn't get booed at all by the crowd.
The rest of the league did.
Weird.
But not Kenny Omega.
Thank you. I think that's
Weird.
really funny that Kenny is the only one exempt from all this.
Getting
Like, yeah, fuck
exemption.
everyone else.
Yeah.
I love that Kenny, his tights too, were a throwback to the tights he was wearing when him and Takeshita originally wrestled.
Mm.
Fuck you.
I thought that was a cool little Easter egg. This match was weird.
Yeah.
So we got FTR getting cheered, and we got the Bucks getting booed.
Yeah.
And this did not go where I thought it was going to go.
No.
I mean, I really thought that, again, I really thought the turn was happening here.
Me too. Me too.
He's enjoying that a little too much.
Yeah, he is.
No, because what I'm about to say is that because the only reason when you gave the theory that the Bucks were going to turn and join, I really like that theory, despite the fact that I don't like the Bucks.
I mean, what do I know? I'm just a fucking mark.
I was a big fan of that because that's a cool twist, right?
Yeah, it is. No.
So that was the only thing, and again, that was just a theory that he had, right? But I was so invested in that theory, I wanted it to happen. And yeah, when it didn't happen, I just felt like I watched the match for nothing, even though it was a pretty okay match. But
Yeah. It really did feel that way. Like nothing happened here. Like just nothing happened. It was a match. They lost. It was over. Nothing happened.
Cash didn't brandish a gun. Nothing.
Yeah, no. Arn Anderson didn't come out.
tasteless, just tasteless, just tasteless.
I said he didn't brandish a gun. He didn't have a gun.
That's funny as shit. Oh man.
You know
Oh,
man. Oh boy.
Do you know how sad I am? Like, let's talk about how sad I am.
This to me was the equivalent to John Cena's U.S. Championship run. It was a really good run, man. It was a really good run.
Yeah.
We say
It was a really good
33 people he beat or something?
31.
31.
That's fucking
31
nuts.
defenses. Yep.
That's fucking crazy. Bro, the defense run where he was doing, like, he would just pick random two people and do a three-way match was the funnest part, because it was just random people every week. He was like, "You want to wrestle? You want to wrestle? Bet, let's go." And they just did it. And I was like, it was so fun, because I was like, just keep doing that.
And I don't think there was ever what I liked about it too was just like it was the same thing every week, right? But you would think that because we were getting the same thing like every week, he would have opened the show.
Nope.
And it would be like I don't think there was ever a match that I could look back at during that run and be like that was a mid-match. Like he really like every match, every title defense, like both competitors who Orange Cassidy and whoever was wrestling them really showed their ass, man. And it was just a really good run. And I think this was an excellent way to end the run.
Yeah. What's funny about it too is like I said Mox would win here. I thought that he was a logical person to beat Orange. But I didn't think like I was gonna be upset about it. But then Mox came out on Dynamite with the belt, and I'm like, oh yeah, he's got the belt now.
Yeah.
I was just like, yeah. Like I'm not interested.
I'm interested because I am a big Jon Moxley fan, and I know he's going to be a great champion. But in this case, I didn't appreciate the run until it was over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when it was happening, it was just like, oh, another dope match, right? But then as it got close, because I think we all knew that this was going to be the match for that. Like, and it was just like looking back, it was just like, wow, like these were all really good matches, and it's just like. You know what I mean? Like I just didn't appreciate it until it was over. But he was a hell of a champion, man.
Yeah.
If you are a Orange Cassidy criticizer, and you still don't think he can wrestle after this run, just shut your mouth.
Yeah, dude.
Just turn this podcast off.
At this point,
we don't want you.
We don't want you watching us anyway. So.
No, he literally made that belt the second most important belt in the company.
Absolutely. It's way bigger, in my opinion, than the fucking TNT belt, especially right now with the way it's going right now.
Yep.
And what I also like about Orange Cassidy is that not only was he able to like prove his critics wrong, but anybody that he's in, because I mean he wrestled a lot of fucking dudes during that title reign, all different types of styles, and he was able to just like adapt and work with each style, man. And we always got a good match. So I really appreciate that. Yeah. I really do.
You know what I love about him? If anybody in the company right now deserves some time off, it's him.
Yeah.
And he came
Yeah,
out on
dude,
Dynamite and he said, I'm not fucking going anywhere.
Mhm.
Yep.
And like at this point, to me, I would definitely like be interested in seeing like a main event run or a main event push at this point.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yep.
me too.
Yep.
Yeah. I feel like him and MJF will put on a pretty fucking. Are they fucking?
Oh my god,
I don't think so.
I
I
don't know.
Bro,
remember.
I feel like put them in a fucking title match at a pay per view. That thing, they would put a lot of fucking theatrics and shit into that thing. That thing would be nuts.
Yeah.
I
I'd
think that'd
watch
be
that.
super fucking interesting.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Salute to Orange Cassidy. All the flowers. You can't lose. You can't in this reign with someone who isn't the caliber of Jon Moxley either. So I'm really glad it was somebody like Jon Moxley. Like, I don't know how many other guys there are like Jon Moxley in this company to where you can just kind of hand over a belt and, you know, end the reign and you'd be cool with it.
Yeah.
But Jon Moxley is a good person to do that. So I am interested in Jon Moxley international title reign just because his last title reigns didn't, you know, disappoint me or anything. So I like rooting for John. So
Love Mox.
But what a fucking match. Both men were bloody.
Yeah.
Just, oh my God. Just a great match. Absolutely a great match.
Great fucking match, man.
So that's all out. I guess the only thing left to talk about before we get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
We'll take a look at this. You know, I won again. But whatever. You know, it's cool.
I won again.
I won again, but whatever.
I mean,
But whatever.
I won again is nuts.
whatever.
Congratulations.
Who's keeping track? Oh, yeah.
Me. I am.
We are.
The guy with
Who's keeping this? That's sick.
the guy with the Excel sheet. I am. I'm just gonna delete the whole thing and just pretend like it didn't happen. You know what's really funny about my prediction? So I predicted that he was gonna join. I thought it was gonna happen last night at Collision because he pulled the shirt out. Remember, he was like, "The what we like a black book."
Oh, yeah.
I was like, "Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah.
god, let it go!" I was like, "Dude."
Yeah.
And then Big Bill did it, and then Ricky got. But
Yeah.
man, that would have been cool. But honestly, now think about it. I think at this point, I don't think he needs to be in.
Yo, you know what's crazy is this is the whole card, right?
Yeah.
This is a lot of matches looking on paper, but like it didn't feel like that to me.
No, this one did not feel like it was 1,000.
Yeah,
people.
I didn't
Like,
even
it usually
realize it was
does. Yeah.
many matches on the card, but yeah, like this is a lot of matches, but it didn't feel like that.
Oh my god.
Thing I loved about it is that since I was there, it was Chicago time, so it technically ended at 11 o'clock.
Wow, see, there
Then
you
ended
go.
at midnight. I was back at my hotel by midnight.
Nice.
Nice.
Dude, when we would go to the theaters to watch AEW pay-per-views, we felt like we were there for fucking days.
Dude,
It always
that
felt
is
so
long.
fucking long, bro. And like we were enjoying ourselves, but goddamn, do we want to just go home, bro?
Yeah. I think one time we went like we didn't get out till like I don't think we got home till like maybe like 2. Maybe
Had
2
to be.
o'clock. And I remember I called my boss. Thank God my boss was so cool. I was like, "Hey man, I'm not feeling good. I'm gonna just stay home because we just got back so late, and I would have had to get up 3 hours after I went to bed because the shows would just last so long."
Yeah.
I told my boss, I was like, "Bro, I'm gonna just stay home today." He was like, "Yeah, all right, see you Tuesday."
Nice. Shout out to your boss.
I feel both ways about it, you know. Like I definitely get there are times where I'm like, oh my god, especially if it's on a Sunday. Like, oh my god, this is so late. It's going on so long. And then the other half of me goes, I paid $50 for this, and at least I'm
I
getting my,
gotta watch it. Right. Exactly.
Yeah,
not only
We were
that, but
talking
I'm
about-
getting my money's worth out of it. You know, it's not
Dude.
some 2-hour fucking pay-per-view. I'm getting 4 hours of action. They're at least
Bro.
giving me my money's worth of it.
WrestleMania 40 was a conversation in the Planet Met Mafia chat for a minute where we were all like, "Yeah, we gotta go because like Philly's so close to our area, Virginia. Like, and we've been there before. We went out there for the Super Bowl, so we were like, yeah, we gotta go."
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And then when we heard about the ticket prices, we were just like, right?
So,
And a couple of our friends were still talking about getting tickets, right? And I remember I texted my boy Omar, and I thought he was going. And I was like, dog, because me and him are hip hop heads, and I'm like, hey, when you get to that show, if they play What We Do by Freeway, you gotta text me. He's like, bro, I'm not going to that show. He's like, and the thing was, is like me and him had the same thing. It was like we could very much afford, me and Sheila could have afforded those tickets, no problem. But just those tickets alone was fucking nuts. And I just came to the conclusion that, all right, don't get to go, but I do like the fact that I get to watch WrestleMania in an air-conditioned area.
Yep.
And regardless of how long this pay-per-view lasts, as soon as it's over, I could just turn off my TV, walk into the room next door, and go the fuck to bed.
Yep.
Yeah.
No driving fucking crazy amount of hours, none of that shit.
So I am going to WrestleMania 40.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I am.
Clap it up. Clap it up.
I'm going with XOJ and B-roll.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
So we have already bought our tickets, got our hotel, but dead ass, those are things I'm already anxious about, Con.
Yeah.
I'm fat. I'm gonna be stuck in a tiny little seat with some other motherfuckers for 5-6 hours, and then when it's over, I gotta fight 80,000 people to get out of there.
That's nerve-wracking, bro.
Yeah.
I might just drive up to Philly to hang out with you and then go home.
Do it.
That's crazy.
I mean, I might just sleep in the arena that night, you know.
Like shit,
so,
might as well. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So before we go, we got a few minutes left.
Before we go,
how was meeting these people? Willow and Hikaru Shida
So-
and Ricky Starks.
I mean, Willow was exactly what I thought she would be. I mean, she is what she is on TV. She's bubbly and happy, and she
In
was,
love with you, and
What's that?
you said it. She's exactly like you want to be. She's in love with you and everything like
Well,
that.
yeah. I mean, I felt
Okay.
that a little bit, but I
Okay.
mean, you're trying to be professional, so I
Yeah,
get
yeah,
it.
yeah.
But-
You can't.
But yeah, she was an absolute joy to be around. Ricky was interesting, and I don't mean that in a bad way.
Okay.
So here's he, usually when I go to these things, I judge the wrestlers on how they treat the fans. You know what I
Sure.
mean? And Ricky was amazing with fans.
Yeah.
He, he made sure to talk to everybody, give them an experience. There was even one point where he was complaining to me that other wrestlers were like sitting down. And he was like, people like pay a lot of money to meet us. Like, why are they should be standing up and like talking to people, not just moving. And that's for me, that's a big thing because I go to a lot of meet and greets and that shit happens to a lot of people.
Sure.
That being said, and I'm not going to get into like details and stuff because technically with Starrcast, I'm not supposed to get into a lot of details. But
Okay.
he was also very business.
Mm.
I'll just put it that way. So he was very good with the fans. He was extremely nice to me. He was also all business, and that's why he was there.
Gotcha.
We'll go that far.
I got
Sheeta
you.
was also very nice, surprisingly. I guess I shouldn't say that, but she has definitely learned English. She
Okay.
was able to have a conversation with me, with everybody, with no problem. So she's definitely put her time in and learned English, and
Oh yeah.
we were able to sit there and talk, and I completely understand each other. So
So
And
what was
she-
your role with hanging out with these guys, or what were you like? What exactly were you doing?
So basically, I was their handler. So when it was time, so when it was time for their meet and greet, I would go to the green room. I would get them. I would bring them to their table, and then I sat there with them the whole time. I took their tickets when people came up to get their tickets, and I took people's photos for them.
Oh shit.
That's cool
okay.
shit, man. Oh yeah.
Let's go. So,
So I was basically their handler for their meet and greet session.
So did you like doing that?
I love doing it.
Yeah, man, that's cool.
I fucking love doing it. This was honestly, outside of a couple very minor annoyances, this was one of the best weekends of my life.
Oh hell yeah.
Literally, like, people are probably gonna think this is fucked up, but like I put it up there with like my wedding. Like it was that great of a weekend for me. Not only because Starrcast was a big part of it, obviously, because I love doing this. I love that I'm considered part of the staff now, and it sounds like I'm just going to be brought back every time, and
Absolutely.
it gives me that little taste of what I really want to be doing in life, because I want to be working in this shit. So obviously,
you felt that.
so it's awesome doing it. It's also awesome working with them. The people who work at Starrcast bust their asses to put this stuff on. I got to like hear a bunch of the shows and be at Max Caster's rap session and all that. Like
Man,
the whole thing is just like this huge experience. So,
bro, I would love to be a part of some shit like that, man. I would love
hey,
that.
if you want to fly yourself out one time, I could probably get, but you know, you'd have to fly yourself out and pay for all your shit the first time.
I get it.
You know?
Hey,
First
listen,
time,
I'm not unfamiliar, man. I am not unfamiliar.
But
so the second time though, you got like they your tickets and all that stuff, was that taken care of or what?
yes,
Awesome.
yes.
Yeah, man. Hell yeah.
The other reason, though, and I don't want to go without saying this, not only, you know, because of Starrcast and all that, but it was also one of the best weekends of my life because of the people that I spent it with. I know that, you know, TikTok, especially Wrestle Talk, has had a lot of drama and all that shit. I will say that for the little over a year that I've been on it, Wrestle Talk has been nothing but good for me, for my life. I met both of you. I have this podcast. It has helped me do professional stuff that might help me in the future. But I spent the whole weekend with B-Roll and XLJ and MJ, and they are wonderful people. They're like my real friends now. I met these people a year ago on an app, and like they're family to me now. Like B-Roll and XLJ, they went out of their way to come pick me up from the airport. They brought me to Collision.
Cool.
They brought me to All Out. They went out of their way to make it so that I didn't have to pay for any travel or anything.
Shouts out to
like
B-Roll and XLJ, man. Shouts out to them.
Absolutely.
Shouts out to them.
Yeah, appreciate y'all taking care of my guys.
For me. They sat there and waited for me all day at the last day of Starrcast, so that I didn't have to take an Uber to All Out. We sat together at Collision. We sat together at All Out. So, I mean, they've become true friends for me now, and it was really fucking cool to do this this convention and to meet these people that I met on an app randomly who are literally friends to me now. So.
It's cool, man.
That's what's up, man. Seriously. Hell yeah.
I'm definitely
glad you made it back in one piece too.
Yeah, bro.
Glad you made it back in one piece.
I'm definitely putting all the vibes and prayers and whatever you want to call it into you getting more stuff like this, because I mean you definitely seem to enjoy it. You definitely seem good at it. You've been doing this shit, you know what I mean? So like hella proud of you, dog, for fucking being able to do shit like this. And
thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely, man. Like keep fucking doing that shit. And like you know, that shit's fucking fire, bro. Like hanging out with wrestlers all day. That's all you would want to do.
I would love that.
Yeah. So yeah, one of the best weekends of my life, no doubt about it.
Amazing.
All right, fellas. Well, that was a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff has happened.
What are we gonna do with this podcast when we don't have a pay-per-view to fall on? We're gonna have to actually come up with content.
I know.
We're gonna have to actually try.
You have to actually like try and like figure out what to talk about. So
effort.
I know.
I don't want to work.
I went 2 weeks without sex, though. You know, I feel a little deprived. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's been a while.
A little
deprived of sex, but
I'm a little sexually frustrated.
I think we might need podcast therapy after this one.
Chill's over here giving me the thumbs down to that one.
Boo.
On that note, all right. We got anything else to say?
Shouts out to your Switchblade t-shirt. Shouts out to my Dudley Boys t-shirt. You know what it is. You know what it is. Team 3D all day. Nick, I see you with the Washington Commanders. Different realm, but you know, hey, UFC and WWE, they work together, so why not?
Sports.
We won today. Yeah. We won today. That's all I care about.
You gonna buy one of those belts?
Dub.
Yes, I forgot, bro. $550, but goddamn, do I want one so bad, bro. The Commanders one is clean too, bro. Like it's not. Oh yes, I want one so bad, but $500.
All right, this isn't a football podcast.
You anyway.
Oh, that's crazy.
Hey, you're doing a lot.
All right, we'll see you next week, you fucking marks. Right here, 7:00, wherever the hell you're watching us.
Hell yeah.
Peace out.
That's funny as shit, man.